Everybody knows smoking is bad for you. That is not information. That is wallpaper. It is printed on the pack, it is in every health class, and it has never once made a single smoker put down a cigarette in the moment they actually wanted one. So I am not going to lecture you. I am going to give you the 5 reasons that actually move people, the ones that come up again and again when you look at why smokers finally stop. Then I am going to be honest about why most quit attempts collapse anyway, and about the one approach that has published data behind it. Reason 1, your body starts repairing itself faster than you would believe. Within about 20 minutes of your last cigarette, heart rate and blood pressure begin to drop. Within 12 hours, the carbon monoxide in your blood falls back toward normal so your red blood cells can carry oxygen properly again. Within a few weeks to a few months, circulation improves and lung function starts climbing. Within a year, your excess risk of coronary heart disease drops to roughly half that of someone still smoking. Your body is not holding a grudge. It is waiting for you to stop so it can get back to work. Reason 2, the money is worse than you have admitted to yourself. Most smokers do this math wrong on purpose. They count the pack, not the year. At current United States prices, a pack a day runs into thousands of dollars annually. And that is before higher life insurance premiums, before health insurance surcharges, before dental work, before the resale value of a car that smells like an ashtray. Nobody quits for money alone, but almost everybody who quits is quietly shocked by what is sitting in their account 6 months later. Reason 3, it is not calming you down. It is the thing making you tense. This is the reason that changes minds fastest, because it contradicts what smoking feels like. Nicotine withdrawal begins within roughly 30 minutes to an hour of your last cigarette. That restless, irritable, cannot focus feeling you get right before a smoke break is withdrawal. The cigarette does not create calm. It ends a discomfort it created in the first place. So you spend all day climbing out of a hole you keep digging. And when researchers follow smokers who successfully quit, anxiety and stress levels go down after quitting, not up. Reason 4, you are not the only person smoking your cigarettes. There is no established safe level of secondhand smoke exposure. Children in smoking households get more ear infections, more asthma attacks, more respiratory illness. And there is the part that is harder to say out loud. Children of smokers are substantially more likely to become smokers themselves. The habit gets handed down like a family recipe nobody asked for. Reason 5, and this is the one people underestimate, you get your attention back. A smoker's day is quietly organized around cigarettes. When is the next one? Do I have enough? Can I step out? Will this meeting run long? That is a background process running in your head all day, taking a slice of your focus with it. People who quit rarely describe it as losing something. They describe it as a room going quiet. So those are the reasons. Reasons are not the problem. Every smoker I have ever met can recite them. The problem is method. Cold turkey is what most people try first, and the relapse numbers for unassisted quitting are brutal. The large majority are smoking again within weeks. Nicotine patches and gum do better than nothing, and the data supports them, but they treat the chemical half and leave the psychological half untouched. You end up dependent on a different delivery system while still believing that cigarettes were your reward, your break, your friend. Most stop smoking aids on the pharmacy shelf carry that same blind spot, and so do most of the quit smoking aids people order online. The craving gets managed, the belief never gets touched. That is also true of a lot of smoking cessation programs that hand you a quit date and a countdown and call it a plan. Which brings me to what has changed in the last few years. There are now dozens of smoking cessation apps competing for the same square inch of your phone screen, and most of them are day counters with a motivational quote attached. Tracking a streak is not a method. Search for the best app to quit smoking, and you will get 30 results with about 3 genuine approaches between them. The one worth understanding is Quit Sure. As a smoking cessation app, it is built backwards from the rest. It is a 6-day smoking cessation program created by a team of Stanford, IIT, and IIM alumni. And instead of managing your cravings, it goes after the beliefs sitting underneath them. The sequence is CBT, REBT, and self-hypnosis, cognitive behavioral therapy to surface the thoughts driving the habit, rational emotive behavior therapy to take apart the beliefs holding those thoughts up, self-hypnosis to settle the new thinking in below the level of conscious argument, which is why anyone who has looked into hypnotherapy to quit smoking will recognize the shape of the third step. Here is the part that makes people read it twice. You continue smoking during the Quit Sure program. You are not asked to quit on day one. You read, you do the exercises, and you smoke as usual, because the point is not to white knuckle your way through abstinence. The point is to rewire your psychological relationship with cigarettes first, so that by the time you reach the end, the desire itself is gone and there is nothing left to resist. It is the reverse of almost every quit smoking program you have tried. Two features matter in practice. There is 24/7 chat support with psychologists, so when the difficult hour arrives at 2 in the morning, you are not sitting alone with it. And there is an in-app community of current smokers and ex-smokers, which counts for more than it sounds like. Quitting inside a group doing the same thing is measurably easier than quitting alone in your kitchen at midnight. Now the evidence, stated carefully, because this is where most channels start exaggerating. QuitSure has peer-reviewed research published in JMIR journals reporting an 80.1% success rate among program completers. Read that phrase properly. Among program completers, not among everyone who downloads it. And it is a single-arm study, meaning no control group and no comparison arm. So it is not the same class of evidence as a randomized controlled trial. It is real published data. It is also a specific and limited kind of data, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. The company reports over 3 million downloads to date, which is its own figure rather than an independently audited one. I will be straight about who this suits. Among stop smoking programs, this one asks for reading and reflection across 6 days. If you want a stop smoking app that simply pings you with a street counter, this is not that. But if you have cycled through apps to stop smoking and none of them ever touch the question of why you smoke, this one is at least asking the right question. The link to the Quit Smoking app is below. 6 days of your attention against however many years you have already given this thing. Run that math instead.